Welcome to How to Double Your Profit for $97 a month. This is what we call the buyer's journey. Over here, you have suspects who don't know anything about your product or service or why they should want to buy it. As they become interested, they become prospects. And what happens is they're looking for information along what's called the buyer's journey to decide whether they want this thing, how can they overcome any objections they have. And as they get towards this end up here, if they do decide they're going to buy it, then how do they choose who to buy from? And what you need is what's called a drip campaign. So at any given time, if there are 100 people on this journey, 30% won't ever get to the stage of being now buyers. The other 70% will eventually at various times. So these are the now buyers, typically 1 to 3% at any given time, and typically 67 to 69% still along the journey here. And what they're looking for is information. So they're looking for ideas, guides, psychological tests, anything basically that will help them work out, whether they want this thing, and if so, how they would choose, what criteria they'd use. So any sort of, they're called lead magnets or information offers. Now, the thing is, to provide that along the buyer's journey, you need systems in place. So first of all, you need what's called a CRM, a customer management system. And basically what that does is it enables you to keep track of where you are with each particular customer in terms of what information you've supplied and what stage they've reached on the buyer's journey. So you need one of them. You'll also need something here like called funnels, which basically says that if they do become now buyers, how are you going to persuade them that you're the person to buy from? So you need what are called funnels with what are called wow factors built in. And the wow factor, the idea there is that you take them through a process or a system whereby they think they'd be a fool to buy from anyone else. But again, that needs to be mapped out. It's a system. You'll need various funnels along the way. You'll need also to be able to communicate on some sort of autoresponder level, if you like. You might do it by email, you might do it by WhatsApp or social media, you might do it by Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. But whatever method you use, you'll need some way of actually doing that on an automated basis, and you'll need to be able to keep track of where you are. Now, the thing is, many people, many business owners have some or all of these things, but they pay separately for all of them. So that can be expensive. And the other thing is, they don't necessarily all speak to each other. So you might load your data onto this thing here, the CRM, but that might not necessarily work out in terms of you want to use texts or WhatsApps or emails. You may have to load the data again, and they may not be compatible. And there's a lot of time and effort spent, if you like, making them compatible. So what if you could have one overall package that basically does everything? So you load your data onto the database, the CRM bit, and then you can do all of these things and keep a website on there as well, by the way. And there are other things you can do as well. But you can do all of these things integrated within the one package, and you don't have any compatibility issues because everything talks to each other because it's all within the one program. And you can do that for $97 a month. In fact, you can do it for less if you pay on an annual basis. So then you think, well, would that be worth doing? Well, just look at some ideas, some example figures. So let's say you could produce 100 prospects and they're on the buyer's journey. And at the moment, with the systems you either have or haven't got in place, you get 10 of those 100 to be now buyers. Now, if you nurtured them along the way with proper systems, could you double that figure to 20? And I would have thought you could, and possibly more, actually. So that's the first thing. And then when they come through your buyer's funnel here, your sales funnel, again, if you had proper systems in place, could you improve your figure? So let's say at the moment you convert half of them. What if instead of converting 50% of them, you could convert 60% of them, slightly better? Well, that can make a huge difference. So let's say each customer or client is worth $1,000, pounds, whatever to you. And let's say you make a gross profit margin of 60% on that. So that's how much profit each one generates. Well, as things stand at the moment, you're making a profit of 3,000. But with those two simple improvements, so you're getting more now buyers and you're converting slightly more of the now buyers, you've taken your profit from 3,000 to 7,200. That could be per campaign, that could be per week, could be per month. But you get the idea. The thing is that by having these systems in place, you can make a big difference to your bottom line profit. And if you pay separately for all these separate things, you'd end up paying a lot and you'll have compatibility issues. But you could actually have all of these things in one place where everything speaks to everything else for $97 a month. So if you're interested in exploring any of those ideas any further, or finding out more about this, then please either respond to this post, message or reply or make a contribution or whatever, or go to Bernard.worldwidemarketing with hyphens in between .com and then /home. So Bernard.worldwidemarketing with hyphens in between .com /home. I hope you found that useful and interesting. Thanks very much for watching.